And if it was juggled, because the ball definitely came out. That's a fumble. That's West Virginia football.
Yep.
And deep into Pitt territory. But I would just want to say this about, you talked about the crew being politically correct and eat it out. It's wonderful. I just want to say that not only technically is our crew as good as there is, but I want to also say athletically, we'll take on any crew out there in a backyard football game.
1st and 10 from the 40. Here is Slayton. He runs for 3 to the 37-yard line. He's stopped here by Tez Marsh. There's Bill, some of the guys on our crew.
Unbelievable. They all shocked me. We had guys diving for the football, laying out. Snow's coming down. Trigger was all over the place, making plays. We could take any crew on. That'll be fun in the offseason.
So you played that challenge,
huh? That's it. The gauntlet's dropped.
Terrific. The only thing that's burning right now are my hamstrings. 2nd and 7 from the 37. Slayton runs up the middle. He gets a first down across the 30 and to the 28-yard line. We told you about the rushing dominance of West Virginia. We'll show you our Intel halftime stats, and it gives you a little bird's eye view at it. 258 of the 278 done on the ground. Panthers threw it effectively. It's exactly the split that you would have expected coming into this game. West Virginia had the lone turnover of the first half, not amounting to Pittsburgh points.
Of course, Pitt now returning the favor with the fumble after a potential first down.
Saw a shot of Scott McKillop. He's in for H.P. Blades, the middle linebacker, who was hurt early in this game. So important for Pittsburgh not to have Blades. Pat White. It is swarmed to number 5 and hit him when he runs, too. White takes it into the red zone, and here's Kirk's Home Depot coaching adjustments for the second half.
Well, we touched on this, Mike, when we came back, is Pitt's defense has to win 1st and 2nd down to put Pat White back into 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 plus, and then you can try to force the young quarterback to put the ball into coverage. And if you're West Virginia, put more pressure on Tyler Palko. I still think in that 3-3-5 stack, how confusing it can be at times. They've got to come after Tyler Palko, which has been an area that's been a problem for Pitt this year.
2nd and 1 spinning is Slayton inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. Mountaineers penalty marker though came in. This could come back with a hold. It will come back with a penalty on West Virginia. Sure if it was a hold or illegal hands up by the face.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Wow.
On the offense. Number 65. 15-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Well, that penalty on Jeremy Sheffy, who's out of Kentucky. When they recruited Jeremy Sheffy, Rick Trickett, the offensive line coach down there, and they told him that he was a ballet dancer. And Trickett assumed it was because of his good feet. Ballet dancers don't get face mask 15-yarders on offense. They assumed it was for good footwork. So they asked Sheffy on the weekly show that they do down here. Tony Caridi, our buddy, is the host. They said, well, what was the deal with the ballet? He said, well, I just signed up for ballet in high school so I could meet the pretty girls. Not for footwork or anything. Rick Trickett said, get him on the spot. He's a smart offensive lineman. White hit as he throws. Good coverage on Brandon Miles as Phil Tillman, the senior out of Maryland, comes out to make the tackle.
Can you imagine seeing Sheffy in tights? 300 pounds.
No. He was
a little bit of ink on the right try. He's going to show up in tights.
That's funny.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Ball on the 35.
That may be the most bizarre recruiting story I've heard all year.
Ever. I've heard receivers taking a little ballet to work on their feet. Yeah, Lynn Swan, work on their feet, balance. But not a 300-pounder. No.
They need to get 17 for the first down. From here, a field goal would be 53 yards. White throws it complete to Renault, who's got it. First down at the 13-yard line. So a must-throw situation, and White converts for 22.
Yep, we just talked about how Pitt has to try to get White into 3rd and long. How's 3rd and 17? When Pat White starts to become more consistent in this area, to go along with his great athletic ability in running, he is going to be a dangerous threat against any defense that he faces. And that time when they didn't get pressure on him, it allowed the crossing pattern to come wide open, and Renaud got upfield for that first.
from the 13, here goes Slayton, who is pulled down by Clint Sessions, junior out of Pompano Beach, who has come back from shin and knee injuries this season. I told you the story about Sessions. He came out of the first game, didn't play against Notre Dame because of injury. Then they played Ohio, and he wasn't going to make the trip, but felt bad. Got medically cleared, and then drove from Pittsburgh to Athens, Ohio to go play in the game. White on 2nd and 11. How did he get through those two? They had him wrapped up for a loss, and the two defenders are looking at each other. Moustakis and Clermont are saying, how did he get through?
Well, this is a great effort by White, but also this Pitt defense corralling him, even though he fought through and picked up 5 yards, and that's 3rd and long again. We need to continue to say to people, if they just tuned in, that the guts of this defense, H.B. Blades, is down with an injury in the very first series, and they've had to try to survive and defend without it.
3rd and 9. Look over to the sideline. They say, okay, here's the adjustment you're going to make. Play clock at 2. White juggles the snap, fires it, incomplete. And we'll have a field goal attempt of approximately 30 yards coming up.
And once he bobbled a snap, Mike, that was a pass that he wanted to get rid of, and it just disrupted the timing. And by the time he actually got a hold of the football with the grip that he needed, it was too late to get the ball into Brandon Miles.
Mentioned George Schell, the holder, a 4-year holder, advertised as one of the best holders in the country, rarely makes a mistake. He spots it at the 19 for Pat McAfee's 29-yard field goal attempt. Perfect hold, good kick. Tim Lindsay snapped it, the whole team working on that one to put the Mountaineers at home, up 11. Trying to stay loose and stay warm on a night where the wind chill is dipped near 0. Still an amazing number of people remain here in Morgantown, although the crowd is certainly thinned out from the first half. 24-13, WVU on top. Any way to stay warm, any blanket left in the car. Right?
How about those bleachers, too?
The steel, metal, not very warm right now.
Oh, gosh, what great fans.
How about what they did to the bench on the West Virginia side before the game? They taped towels down. This is a tough kick to catch. Look out. This is a Pittsburgh repeat. The Panthers got it back. Remember the game against Louisville? A little sky kick that was wind affected. Terrell Allen couldn't get to it. Pittsburgh survives this. Their ball just over the 20, and here's Reese in the studio.
All right, Mike, our singular All-America Player of the Week, Reggie Bush. 513 all-purpose yards in the win over Fresno State, second-best total in 1A history. You can text the word VOTE to 87654 on your singular wireless phone to access the nominees each week. Could win a trip to the national championship game. Now, Reggie Bush, he's no Mike Tirico streaking down the field, but he's okay.
All right, enough. Yeah, enough from you, all of you. Thanks, Reese.
That 5 is a player.
He is good.
If you've seen him
at 2 in the morning,
he's pretty good.
First down run. LaRod Stevens howling. Gain of about 6 or 7. He's had a decent night. Where in the world is Aaron Andrews? Where are you, Aaron?
Well, you mentioned the towels on West Virginia seats. No towels up here, way up here.
Where are you?
Where
there you are.
Look at these fans. I gotta say, all the way from here to the end, over to you wimps in that window over there. They have stayed. It is freezing up here, as you can see with these flags. The wind is blowing, and I gotta rat this guy out next to me. He's a Pittsburgh student. He's spending his Thanksgiving here up in the upper deck.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. It is as cold up there as it is anywhere in the stadium. Stevens howling. Spun around at the 38-yard line, but a nice run and a first down. A pickup of 15 yards. Hey, I mentioned the benches. This was before the game. There are no heated benches here. There are at Pittsburgh at Heinz Field, an NFL facility. So this was the best they could do. The Pittsburgh benches, meantime.
Icing those babies down on the other side.
Good luck for you over there.
Ask EA if that guy can run. That student from Pittsburgh. Might use him on defense here in the second half.
They did improvise. They got that bench covered up eventually. 1st and 10. Panthers trying to grind it out here. Stevens Howling trying to climb through the hole. The ball came out. It's a fumble, and West Virginia has recovered. So the Panthers have put it down on the ground 3 times in this quarter. Recovering that kickoff, but a die comes up with another recovery. And that one Pitt student gets even colder.
Mike, the margin of error for Pitt is so small.
Yes.
They just cannot afford any kind of mistakes, let alone fumbling the first 2 times they've had the ball here to start the second half. Tyler Falco better regroup in a hurry and get the Panthers going.
West Virginia has run 49 plays, 40 of them runs. They lead 24-13. Trying to get within 1 win of locking up the BCS berth. While we were away, the play was reviewed. It was clearly a fumble, no even question about it. So the Mountaineers go back to the ground with Slayton carry 41 of the night, gain of 2. Here's a look at it. LaRod Stevens Howling fumbled it.
Well, you can see the ball definitely comes out. Ball's on, he's still standing, the ball comes out. West Virginia's all over that football. Here's another good look. His knees up, ball's on the ground. West Virginia's on it.
And Eric Wicks forced the fumble, his 4th forced fumble on this very successful Mountaineer season. Full-out workhorse here with Slayton. No gain. Here's the 3rd and long Kirk was talking about that Pittsburgh needed to force. You can hear the jet, the speed. West Virginia's going to go quick here and get to the line. Avoid substitution on 3rd and long. Keep Pitt in its base personnel. One of the Rich Rodriguez wrinkles that's very effective. White, pump and go. Throwing for Brandon Miles.
Matt White's pass intended for number 7. Brandon Miles falls incomplete in the end zone.
We've been picking on Pat White and talking about how consistent he has to become, but this time, as a thrower, Brandon Miles cannot give up on the route. He's got to see how he slowed down there, Mike? He slowed down and misjudged the ball and then tried to leap up. If he continued to run down the field, he runs underneath that for a touchdown.
Sometimes you don't know if the quarterback can get it to you. You have to slow down, come back and get the ball. Look at Rich.
Rich is fired up. He had exactly what he wanted. The out and up was there. They've waited all night to call it. The corner bit on it, and they had a touchdown.
Line drive, Brady goes into the end zone. I believe it crossed the plane, so even though it looked really good, it will be a touchback. It's where the ball is in college football, not where the guy is, and that was clearly over the goal line. Fans are uptight. They're cold.
Pro ball today.
That's right. Nice try by Antonio Lewis. 24-13 Mountaineers here in the 2005 version of the Backyard Brawl. West Virginia recovering at the 40-yard line, and the damage could be a lot worse in this 3rd quarter. 6:35 left. Mountaineers 24, Pittsburgh 13. West Virginia maintaining its own fate in terms of getting to the BCS. Screen pass is caught by Jennings, and he takes it out to the 25-yard line. There are several permutations, and I'll go through them slowly for people so they hear them properly. First, let's look at the Bowl Championship Series standings, brought to you by Allstate. USC and Texas, obviously the last 2 unbeatens at the top. Go through the rest of the teams there. West Virginia farther down on the list, but would be the automatic BCS representative from the Big East, one of the 6 conferences getting the automatic bid. If they win the conference, and there are a couple of ways they can do that, the easiest way is to win their next 2 games. Just a gain of a yard there. West Virginia has a game against South Florida next Saturday that was postponed when Hurricane Wilma came through Florida. Now, South Florida plays at Connecticut on ABC on Saturday. And that obviously, with a win here and a loss there, could put Rich Rodriguez's team in even better shape. Because South Florida has 1 loss in the league. West Virginia is undefeated. Mountaineers 5-0, South Florida